Attention?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a seat. How close can you get to me? I want to feel it very close. And I'm going to So before I even begin about who I am, what I do, and why I'm here, there is a very important subject matter that I need to talk to you all about. There is a crisis going on in America today, and only the men in this room is able to fix it. I flew all the way from Detroit, Michigan. I got on a plane at about 6, 7 o'clock this morning because I was told that in North Carolina, there are some strong men of integrity. That's why I'm here today. Every single day, gentlemen, I watch CNN, Fox News. By show of hands, who in here watch the news? By show of hands. Every single day, I watch Fox News, CNN, all your favorite news stations, right? There is one tragedy that's going on in America that nobody talks about. Nobody ever brings it up. All day long, you hear about the stock market. You hear about what's going on with Donald Trump, right? You all hear about those things. There's one tragedy they haven't mentioned, and I want to tell you what that tragedy is, okay? Last year, something life-changing happened to me, okay? I went to an event called the Daddy-Daughter Dance. Anybody ever heard of that event? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if y'all do it out here in the Carolinas, but in Michigan, we have the event called the Daddy-Daughter Dance. This is an event where fathers take their daughters on a night on the town. You're all dressed up, put on your best wear, you take your daughter, and you have a great time. Something at that event, gentlemen, happened to me that forever changed my life. I'm going to tell you what it is. So I'm in there dancing with my daughters, we having a good time, and a little girl came up to me and said, Mr. Warren, can I take a picture with you? And I said, absolutely, young lady, you can take a picture with me. Absolutely. But where is your father? She said, Mr. Warren, I've never met my father. I don't know where he's at. I've never seen him before. I said, okay, as the night went on, we took that picture. Later on, she said, Mr. Warren, do you have a card or something? Can I call you sometime? I said, absolutely, young lady. Ask your mother first. And if you need anything from me, you make sure you call me. I don't care if it's a bag of chips. I don't care if you need somebody to walk you to school. I don't care if you need somebody to help you with your homework. You call me. That's a tragedy. Somebody might say, Mr. Warren, why is that a tragedy? It's a tragedy that a little girl is at the daddy-daughter dance by herself, right? How do you feel about that? That's a tragedy, right? That's a tragedy. So I tell that story, gentlemen, not to shame anybody in here, but I tell that story because we, the people in this room, the men in this room, we have a job that we have to do. There are fathers missing from the home. Right? Would you agree? There are fathers missing from the home. There's a little boy out there hooping right now who don't have his father. There's a little girl going to the daddy-daughter dance by herself who don't have a father. That's a tragedy, gentlemen. Somebody might say, Mr. Warren, well, I'm only 13, I'm only 14, I'm only 15 years old. But I see right here, as I'm looking around, I see a bunch of men. I see a bunch of strong, purpose-filled men full of integrity, men full of potential. That's what I see. I see a bunch of men that's one day is going to go out and become great fathers. I see a bunch of men who are going to go out and be a pillar to their society. That's what I see right here. So I tell that story just to get your attention about the job that we have to do as men. And guess what? We're going to talk about it today. You don't have to wait until you're 21 to become a man. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until you have 5 baby mamas to become a man. Everybody get my drift? You don't have to do anything like that. The only thing you have to do to become a man is decide to be a man of integrity. We're going to talk about that word today, gentlemen. The only thing you have to do to be a man is to make a conscious decision to start living right. That's the only thing you have to do. Then you have graduated from malehood to manhood. Does that make sense, gentlemen? All right. Y'all keep your eyes on me. You know what? I do a lot of speaking, gentlemen, but I've never had the luxury of having a board. So I'm going to use this board a little bit. Uh-oh, this one. Y'all dream with me for a second. I'm gonna put this up. Yeah, everybody read that? Yeah. Male versus man. M-A-L-E versus man. Okay? That's why I'm here today, gentlemen. I want to define the difference between being a male versus being a man. Now, let me back up a little bit because I want y'all to know my story a little bit. It's not the Baron Warren story. I'm not here to boast and brag. I'm here to provide some value to you all. You understand? Okay, so very briefly, my name is Baron Warren. I'm 34 years old. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I have two beautiful daughters. I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. I was in the United States Navy for 8 years, and now I'm a motivational speaker. That sounds very nice and pretty, right? Sounds very nice. The flip side of that coin is I was a knucklehead teenager. I was doing inappropriate things. I was disrespecting my parents. I was abusing drugs from time to time. I was breaking the law from time to time. It's only the grace of God that I was able to graduate high school on time. It's only the grace of God that I'm not sitting in that chair that you're sitting there. It's only the grace of God. So I'm here not casting any shame or any judgment. I am you. Everybody understand that? I am you. So you can relate to that. You can identify with me. Oh, shoot. But some people happen, some people can this right here. The difference between being a male versus being a man. I had no idea what that meant. I'm gonna prove it to you guys real quick. Everybody pay attention to this. If you guys know this, you can teach the class. Being a male means that you're a student. Everybody see that? Being a man means you're what? The teacher. Thank you, big fella. Who said that? Appreciate it. Being a male is somebody that's full of chaos. Excuse my stone. Y'all see that? That's a male, right? Everybody in this room, with the exception of these intelligent women that's in the room, we're all males, right? We have to earn the right to be called a man. You see that? You have to earn the right to be called a man. Being a man is something that's earned and learned. So that's what we're talking about today. A male is somebody that's chaotic. But if you walk in a man's house, his life is full of order. Y'all see that? Being a male is somebody who's full of games, video games, mind games, manipulation games, games with the police, games with your mom. All day long, their life is full of games. But a man, life is full of responsibility. Y'all agree to that? Responsibility. I'm not going to give y'all 100 lists because you guys are some sharp, intelligent guys, and I know y'all know this. Guess what? A man, he ain't thinking about his kids, right? A male ain't thinking about his kids. But guess what a man does? Takes care of his kids, right? I'm going to add something to it. He takes care of his kids, and he takes care of other people's kids. That's why Mr. Warren gave that little girl the business card at the daddy-daughter dance. Y'all understand that? That's why I did that, gentlemen. I'm going to tell you a short story. When I was coming up, my father, when the ice cream truck came down the street, if he had it, almost everybody on the block got an ice cream. Was he trying to boast and brag? Not at all. But he understood if an ice cream sandwich or a strawberry shortcake or something like that was going to help somebody out and change somebody's life, then it was worth it. That's the difference between being a male or being a man. So I'm going to tell y'all something. Oftentimes, I'm in one of two places, a school or a prison. That's what I do when I travel. I'm at a school or a prison. And this is what I see, gentlemen, not in this room, because I'm looking at some strong, intelligent men. But every blue moon, I walk the prison yard. I'm talking grown men. And I see 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old boys. That's what I see. 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old boys. But then I go to a high school, a middle school, an elementary school, and I see 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old men. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
Somebody might say, Mr. Warren, how is that possible? How is he a man at 12 and 13 years old? There you go. Because when his mother tells him to take out the trash, he do it, and he don't do it with an attitude. When it's time for him to do his homework, he do it and he don't do it with an attitude. When it's time to respect the authority figure, he do it and he don't do it with an attitude. That makes him a man in our book. Y'all understand that, gentlemen?
Sure.
I just want to write it real big somewhere. That's all we're talking about. I've dedicated my life to helping males become men. That's why I'm here today, gentlemen, because I want everybody to have a friendly reminder from Mr. Warren, a friendly reminder, a loving reminder, a respectful reminder on what it means to be a man. Here's the good news, gentlemen. Right now, as you sit right there in that seat, right there, you have the power to make that transition from malehood to manhood. Sitting right there. You don't need a bachelor's degree to become a man. You don't need a doctorate degree to become a man. You don't have to be an expert at something to become a man. All you have to do is make a conscious decision. I'm going to tell y'all a quote, and I guarantee you somebody in this room ever heard of it. I guarantee it. So it reads like this. When I was a boy, I spoke as a boy. I behaved as a boy. I understood as a boy. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Anybody in there ever heard that? Somebody in here heard it. You heard it? When I was a boy, I spoke as a boy. I understood as a boy. I behaved as a boy. But when I became a man, when I stopped lying, when I stopped manipulating, when I stopped stealing, when I stopped conning, when I stopped womanizing, when I started respecting authority, when I started saying please and thank you, that's when I became a man. I'm looking at you guys. I'm going to tell you something. This is a personal secret. As a speaker, I got the best seat in the house. I got the best seat in the house because I'm able to look in the eyes of great men. I'm able to see greatness every single day. I'm looking at it. When y'all walked in here, I saw a bunch of great men of integrity. I saw a bunch of great men of power. So that's why I'm here today, gentlemen. But guess what? Some of us need a friendly reminder. Every single day, I have to look in the mirror and I have to ask myself, do I want to be a male or do I want to be a man? Every single day. Do I want to respect the authority figure? Do I want my kids to say, hey, I'm proud of my father? Do I want my mother to say, hey, I'm proud, that's my son? Every single day, I have to think about that. Do me a favor, everybody hold up number 5 for me. Real quick, hold up number 5. I'm going to make it very simple. Because we can go through this all day long, but I don't want to bore you all. It's 5 simple steps I want you all to remember before I leave here. I'm making that transition. Y'all put your hands down. Thank you. 5 simple steps. I want y'all to hold me accountable to this. So the first step, becoming a man, you have to choose to be a man. You have to choose. We just talked about that, right? We just talked about making that conscious decision. Sitting right there. When Mr. Warren leaves, and I'm going back to wherever I'm at, I want you to think Mr. Warren said to be a man, all I have to do is choose. I don't become a man on my 18th birthday. Trust me, gentlemen, I know a lot of 40-year-old boys. I know a lot of them. But I also know some 13-year-old men. I want to be like that 13-year-old man when I grow up. If you're a man, and you're 13 years old, and you're 15 years old, I want to be like you when I grow up. That's what I want to be. I want to be a man when I grow up. I oftentimes tell people I don't deal with boys anymore. I don't associate with boys much. I only deal with men. But that's why I'm here today. So y'all get that down pat. I'm looking at you guys. That's the easy one. Choose. How many did I say we had, gentlemen? 5. Look at y'all sharp. Number 2. Discover your calling. Can I tell you a secret real quick, gentlemen? It's between me and you. I don't go to work anymore. I oftentimes brag with people. I say I don't have a job. I don't go to work. I go to my calling every single day. There's a difference, gentlemen. You can be fired from your job. You can't be fired from your calling. Find out what you've been called to do with your life. Find out what that is in life and watch you turn into Superman. I almost wore all red today because I wanted y'all to see what Superman looks like. I almost wore all red today. I almost put a cape on today because I wanted y'all to see what Superman looks like. It wasn't until I found out what I've been called to do with my life, that's when I started bouncing out of bed. I don't roll out of bed and mope and moan and complain. No, I bounce out of bed. I guarantee you, find out what you've been called to do with your life. And once you start bouncing out of bed, once you start having a sense of assignment about your life. If you're good at something, you do it like your life depended on it. That's easy, gentlemen. Everybody in this room has the power to do that. Think about the things that you're good at. Think about the things you like to do. Find out what that is and maximize your potential. You can do that. How many did I say, gentlemen? We halfway there. Y'all hang in there with me. Number one, because I want to beat it into your soul. What is it? Choose. Easy work, right? You can do that sitting right there. Number two, discover your calling in life. Discover your assignment. Have a sense of assignment when you wake up in the morning. Number three, gentlemen, it's a tough one. Be a lifelong learner. Be a lifelong learner. Gentlemen, y'all hear my heart on this. I hated school coming up. I hated school. Couldn't stand it. But when I became a man, I understood how am I going to lead a family? How am I going to be a pillar to my community and my society if I don't know nothing? How am I going to do that if I don't know nothing? Start valuing education. Why something magical happens. Start using appropriate language. Watch your circumstances start changing. Let me dispel the myth in here, gentlemen, and I don't want to diss nobody. Love and hip hop ain't gonna help you lead no family. Watching your favorite NBA, whatever, ain't gonna help you lead a family. Going to the weight room, lifting a bunch of weights, that's not gonna help you lead a family. Being educated is gonna help you do that. Being educated is gonna help you be marketable so you can take care of your family. That's what you gotta do, gentlemen. I challenge every man in this room, every single man. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strong men. I challenge you all to turn your area into a library. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to try to read every book before you leave here. I challenge you to do that. Why something beautiful happen. What number we on, gentlemen? 4. Choose to be a man. Discover your calling in life. Be a lifelong learner. Number 4, delight yourself in responsibility. Use my hand right. All day long, I just met you guys. We're family now, right? Y'all stuck with me. I'm gonna be calling Miss Kimball, checking up on you guys. Y'all stuck with me. Y'all stuck with me. All day long, I ain't even gotta ask you. All day you hear, pull up your pants, tuck your shirt in, make your bed up, don't hit that person, be respectful. All day you hear that, right? All day. And guess what, gentlemen? When you leave here, rules don't stop. Rules don't change. Just rules out there when you get out there. I wanted to see you guys so bad. I wanted to do 200 miles to get here. That's how bad I wanted to see you all today. But guess what? And I got pulled over, it would have been some accountability to be had, right? There's rules out there. Men, we talked about this, the difference between being a male and a man. We talked about that, right? Being a man, we understand its rules and we respect authority. And we delight ourselves in authority. Y'all think about this, gentlemen. Look at me. Everybody look at me real quick. What if my daughters called me and said, Daddy, we hungry? And I said, oh, man, you hungry again? Just fed you earlier this week. You hungry again? Oh, you tripping. Why you tripping? You tripping. You hungry? Oh, you tripping, man. Y'all get on my nerves. You tripping. How do you think that'll make them feel?
You don't love them.
Excuse me?
Like you don't love them.
Right? Everybody look at me. I know some men who do that. Excuse me. I know some boys who do that. I know some 40-year-old boys who have an attitude every time a child asks them to do something. Ridiculous, right? No, 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 no. Us men in here, once we decide, hey, I'm gonna be a father. I got some responsibility. I gotta go to work. I gotta pay a bill. Guess what? That's our responsibility. So we're delighted to do it. Gentlemen, I can't wait for my kids to ask me for something. I don't care if it's a bag of chips. I don't care if it's college tuition. I'm running to the opportunity. I can't wait for my mom to come ask me, Barry, can you take me out to breakfast? I can't wait. I can't wait for her to say, Barry, can you take the trash out? I can't wait. I've decided to delight myself in being responsible. It's easy to say, hey, I'm going to be responsible and do it with an attitude. No, we lose the attitude as men, and we delight ourselves in responsibility. Y'all hear that? Y'all see the difference in that? That's big, ain't it? Everybody in the room got the power to do that. Look at y'all. Y'all strong. We're on the last one. Last one. Choose to be a man. Discover your calling in your life. Be a lifelong learner. The rest of your life. And don't stop when you leave here. Don't stop when you get your GED or your diploma. And don't stop. It's forever. Delight yourself in responsibility. Number 5, my favorite one, gentlemen. My favorite one. Y'all stand up, folks. Help another male become a man. Did y'all catch that? Help another male become a man. That's why Mr. Warren flew from Detroit this morning. Gentlemen, I'm off 3 hours of sleep. Can I be honest with y'all? 3 hours. Got on the plane early this morning. Not to hang out, not to party, because I wanted to help some males become men. Somebody told me in the state of North Carolina, there are some males who need a friendly reminder on what it means to be a man. That's why I'm here today. And if Mr. Warren can do it, you have the power to do it too. So somebody might say, Mr. Warren, how do I do that in my situation? How do I do that? It's big, thank you. So it's very simple. This is what happens. This is how you do it. Respectfully, in love, in kindness. There you go. Man, we don't want to get in trouble today. Put your pants up. Hey, man, why don't you take care of how you groom yourself? Hey, did you talk to your mom today? How mom's doing? Did you ask her if she need anything? I know I'm sitting in here, but just for once, let me ask, hey, Mom, how are you doing today? Do you need anything? I know I'm here, but can I be of service in any way? When the next guy come in here, and you didn't already get a little time in here, hey, staff members, they okay. Do X, Y, and Z so we all can go home. That's how you help a male become a man. You ain't got to do some magical, majestical thing. When you get out there, when you get back out there in the streets, hey, here's something that you guys get that I don't have, gentlemen. You guys can deal some hard time. Mr. Warren, I don't know anything about doing hard time. I don't know anything about being locked up or being away. I don't know anything about it. You do. So what does that mean? You got a story to tell. You can provide some value to somebody who might be on the same track that you was on. You got some value to give. That's huge. Help a male become a man. Y'all have a seat real quick. Choose to be a man. Discover your calling in life. Be a lifelong learner. Delight yourself in responsibility. Help another male become a man. I'm going to end this, you guys, with one of my favorite words. My favorite words. Because I want to respect you guys' time. My favorite word, gentlemen, is potential. My favorite word. Okay, man. Put your hand out here like that. What's your name, sir? What's your last name? Green. Mr. Green. I'm bad. If I was to put a C in Mr. Green's hand, right? Somebody might say, Mr. Warren, that's just a C. And you're right, that's just a C. But that seed has the potential to be what? A tree. That tree has the potential to be what? A forest. That if it's watered right, if all the necessary things is done correctly, that forest has the potential, so on and so forth. Did y'all catch that? Let me see, Mr. Green. Thank you, sir. What is we talking about at the end of the day, Mr. Warren? Why did you bring that up? I bring that up because everybody in this room has a seed that's growing on the inside of them. You just haven't watered it properly yet. And it's our job as men to find out how am I going to water that seed? What can I do to help that seed grow into a tree? What can I do to help that tree grow into a forest? I don't know if y'all got them out here, but we got AutoZones in Michigan. Y'all got AutoZones out here?
Yeah.
When you walk in the AutoZone, this is funny. When you walk in the AutoZone, Joe, oftentimes you see the batteries sitting on the shelf, right? All that battery is reserved power, untapped potential, unused strength. That F-150 is absolutely nothing without that battery. That Ford Mustang is absolutely nothing without that battery, right? Everybody, grown people in here know when that battery is dead, I don't care how pretty the car is. I don't care how nice the car is. It's nothing without that battery. Hook that battery up to the F-150 and watch it calm a mountain. Hook that battery up to a Corvette and watch you see it do 200 miles down the street. With that battery, with that reserved energy and that reserved power, that's who you are. Potential is dormant ability, unused strength, unused talent. Potential is the you that don't nobody even know yet. That's what potential is. All the potential right now is in the graveyard. Books that should have been written, businesses that should have been started, great fathers that should have been in the graveyard. So guess what? Me, Mr. Green, and the rest of the men in here, we've decided we're not taking no more potential to the graveyard. Potential ain't gonna do no good in the graveyard. Potential was given to us so we can bring it out here to our communities, so we can release it. So guess what, gentlemen? We're gonna die empty. We're gonna leave this earth empty. We're gonna maximize our potential. We're gonna discover who we are. Y'all see the guy, y'all? I'm a pretty sharp-looking guy. Would y'all say so? Sharp-looking guy. This was not who I was when I was your age. Somebody had to help me discover my potential. I had to find out what that meant. You guys can do the same. You can do the same, Mr. Green. You can do the same, sir. You have the power to do that. Choose to be a man. Discover your calling. Discover who you are. Discover your assignment in life. Be a lifelong learner. Delight yourself in responsibility. Help another male become a man. Are y'all with me on that?
Yes,
y'all clap for me. Did y'all learn something?
Yes, sir.
Y'all learn something? Was that boring? Okay. Mr. Warren, I'm a very open book. And I want y'all to ask me some questions while I'm here. Do I have enough time, Ms. Kimber?
They had it 2:15. I don't know how much time you have.
Y'all ask me anything you like. Anything. I want one question from each guy, because we got a small group. Tell me your last name, sir. Mr. Elliott, pleasure meeting you. Anything you want to know about Mr. Warren? My open book. Ask me anything. It could be what we talked about, with my favorite team, favorite color.
How long did it take you to go through training for the Navy?
Great question. He said, how long did it take me to go through training for the Navy? So, the total training was 8 weeks. Excuse me, it was 10 weeks. I'm sorry, 10 weeks. Can I tell y'all a short story of what happened when they came to my house? So I knew I was getting in trouble. I barely graduated from school. That commercial, some of you guys probably seen military commercials. So I called that number. It was at my house. I kid you not, probably in 20 minutes. It was quick. I opened the door. This is a true story, gentlemen. It's the first thing they said. They didn't say, hey, Mr. Warren. The first thing they said was, Mr. Warren, why is your pants off your behind? Why haven't you shaved today, sir? why your house smell suspect? Yeah, I get my drift. That's what the lady said to me. Two guys, they were sharp too. All white uniforms, they were sharp. And I just stood there. They said, Mr. Warren, you need some help. We're gonna help you, sir. Come get in the car with us. The best decision I ever made. Now, that's Mr. Warren's story. Everybody can't join the military, but you can find some good men to be around. There's some good men everywhere. You can find a good group of guys to be around. Let me tell you something, gentlemen. Even right now as we speak, right now, I don't always go to the family barbecue. I don't always get in the car with my favorite cousin, my favorite uncle. Why? Because some of them, no disrespect, some of them haven't decided to be a man yet. And Mr. Warren, I can't afford to get caught up in no mess. So guess what? I love you, big bro. I love you, cousin. I love you, father. I love you, uncle. But we can't get in the car together. We can't go to the store together. I'm sorry. And I ain't about to get in the car with you to prove that I love you. I'm not doing that with you, big bro. I'm not doing that with your best friend. Until you decide to become a man, then we can go to the store. Then I come to the barbecue. If not, I'm going to love you from afar. I see you on Facebook. That's all you can get from me. I see you on Instagram. What else they got out there now? I done lost track, y'all.
Snapchat.
There you go. I see you well. But we're not going to the store. It took me a while to get to that point, gentlemen. You guys are going to face the same challenge. You're probably facing it in here. Don't face it out there. Real men understand my life is too important. I got too much going for myself. I can't risk taking a ride to the store for foolishness. I got something better for my life. So sorry, we can't go to the store. That was a long answer, but 10 weeks. We joined the Navy. Yes, sir.
So like, what age and what made you decide like turn around?
What age and what made me decide to turn around? So I joined. I'm 34. I joined the Navy when I was 19. I had a child very early, gentlemen, out there, and we're adults in the room. Okay, so I want everybody to agree we can have an adult conversation. Can you have that? Yes. We're adults in the room. We're men. So we're going to have a very grown-up conversation. So I was out there doing womanizing things at a very early age. I had a child early, at 18, 19 years old, right? So, but I was smart enough. I said, I want to be a good father. I don't want to be a knucklehead dad. I don't want to be locked up. I don't want to be dead, you know? I lost 3 friends when I was 16, the gun violence. 3 friends. I knew I was on that same track, so I said, I got to do something with my life. I got to get out of Detroit. I got to get out of my area, right? So that's when I made that phone call. So about 19, and the military, they got a way of fixing you quick, gentlemen. It don't take long. They fix you quick. I'm very grateful for that. Find some good men to be around so you can get the help you need. Right now, as we speak, I got some good men in my life, and I'm going to see. Y'all hear me on that? But don't stop. That's what men do. That's a great question, sir. Great question. You got a question, boss? Tell me last name. Mr. Dunstan?
Yeah. Right. Like, what made you think like it's time to be a man and all that?
What made me?
When they look at you, that question.
Well, that was recently. That was last year. So, and you all in the room is going to face this. It's something happens to you when you have a child, man. Something changes about you. You find out you learn the definition of love in a whole different way. So when I saw my daughter was born on Valentine's Day too, gentlemen. I just was celebrating her birthday the other day. She's 15 years old now. When she was born and I saw her, something changed. You know, that's when I got to get it together. I don't want to be high around my daughter. Did y'all hear me on that? I don't want to be high around my daughter or ever, period. I don't want her to see her father in a negative way. But I think that was the changing moment for me. But that's Bear Warren's story. That's my story. Think about your story and find out what's that real about. Why do I need to change? I want to make my mama proud. I want to make my community proud. Tired of doing the wrong thing. Good question, man. Yes, sir.
It's your job going around speaking.
It's my job. Oh, excuse me. This is my calling. Did I erase it? I'm sorry. What's number 2? Find out your calling in your life. Yeah, but this is my job, my calling. Absolutely. I love my caller. Yeah, great question. Boss man, tell me your last name again.
Cook.
Mr. Cook.
I guess when I'm at, what did you do in the Navy? Like, what was your assignment or whatever?
Great question. I'm so happy you asked that. So when you watch the military video, gentlemen, you see the guys flying the planes, you see them traveling where you see all the cool things, right? That changes when you join the military. Real quick.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody, right. So you get to the military, you say, hey, I want to drive the ship. I want to drive the plane. I want to, you say all that, right? And the military say, no, we need you over here. So when that happened to me, they said, Mr. Warren, we want you to be a barber. I said, no, that ain't the commercial that I saw. I ain't see no barbers on the commercial. No, I ain't signed up for that. So I became a barber. Gentlemen, y'all hear my heart on this. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing. I had never wanted to cut hair, never was interested. But for one, it taught me a trade. The second thing, I learned some things about myself. I learned that I'm good at talking. So people would start coming to me, not just for a haircut, but to talk, get their problems off their chest. Then I said, man, I'm a good talker. Maybe I should, keep in mind, I hated school. Remember that, right? I said, maybe I should pursue this. What can I be? Maybe I could be a counselor. What do I need? I need a degree. But yeah, communication, psychology. I took one psychology course. Knucklehead kid from Detroit. Took one psychology course. I loved it. I said, oh, this is me. Took me 8 long years, 8, to finish my degree. 8 years. Is that something? I share that story, sir, Mr. Cook, because I want you to see you don't find your calling overnight. It don't always happen overnight. You have to operate in your season, where you at in life, and figure it out as you go. That's how that works. So here I am. That's it. Sir?
So what was it like growing up in Detroit?
Growing up in Detroit, it's home for me, but, it's an urban city. It's rough. A lot of great people, a lot of good music, but it has its rough parts. And I was raised in a rough part. A lot of friends and a lot of friends still locked up. I lost some friends and relatives. So it's rough. Beautiful city, great people, but I did grow up a little rough. Yeah. I think I saw a hand over here I didn't see. So, what's your last name?
Thomas.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
How do you
sir.
get in the military?
How do you get in? It's very simple. That's what you do. I wish I had an example. You see the commercial, and you pick up the phone. That's how you get in the military. You see the commercial, and then they come and then they find out and see if you're qualified. Meaning, do you have a high school diploma? Do you have a GED? What's your criminal background? Right? That's not an automatic disqualify you. I want everybody to hear me on that. You're not disqualified if you have a criminal background. Trust me, you're not. So they just have to help you through it.
Find something.
Say it again.
They
They can find something, especially the Army. Especially the Army. They'll get you in there.
You ever thought about writing a book?
I was just talking about that, Miss Doty. Weren't we just talking about that? This is my boss, by the way. This is a very, very close friend of mine. Very close friend of mine. But me and Miss Doty was just talking about that today. I said, correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Doty, I said, I don't want to put out any trash. So I'm going to take this whole year, talk about my experiences, journal it, write things down. I've been doing this for a while now. Then next year, I'm going to drop a book. What y'all think about that, gentlemen? Think that'd be a good idea? I don't want to just do it overnight and put out some no, I'm going to provide some value. So I'm going to take my time with it. Yeah. I want y'all to make me a promise. If I write the book, you got to teach the class. Fair enough? Come on now. Yeah. Somebody take a wild guess of what the book is going to be titled. Not this, but what I talked about. Take a wild guess. That's part of it. That's going to be, let's do this.
Help a male be a man.
Okay, that's going to be in it.
5 steps to a man.
Thank you. Say it again, Mr.
5 steps to a man.
Yeah, 5 steps to manhood. 5 steps to manhood. That's what I'm calling. And of course, it's going to be more detailed than what we talked about. But that's it. I'm going to share some stories about me meeting some strong, intelligent men like yourself. That's going to be in the book. But again, gentlemen, I'm holding these men in the room Ms. Kimball, I'm gonna hold these men in the room accountable. If I write the book, they gotta teach the class. Fair enough? Y'all gonna teach the 5 steps? Okay. Who haven't I called on? Yeah, I wanna hear from this guy right here. Tell me the last name, sir.
Tyler.
Mr. Tyler, give me something strong. Give me something I can take back to Detroit with me. Give me some words. Check this out, Mr. Tyler. This is how we do it. I'm a knucklehead male. I'm disrespecting my mother. I'm doing inappropriate things. I'm being a knucklehead male at 34 years old. Help me, Mr. Tyler, become a man. Mr. Warren is being a knucklehead male. Help me out, please. I'm tripping. I don't like authority. I'm tripping. What can you do to help me, Mr. Tyler?
I say 5 steps.
Okay. All right. Talk to me. We role playing a little bit. Give me a little something. Mr. Tyler, the police tripping. They tripping. My mama tripping. All right. What's wrong with me? Doing X, Y, and Z. They tripping. What you think about it?
I think that you tripping.
I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah. Why am I tripping, Mr.
You're
Dollar?
not being responsible.
Because I'm not being responsible. Interesting. That's good stuff. That's good. Explore that a little bit more with me. That's a great answer. I'm not being responsible. I'm 34 years old, Mr. I got 2 kids. And the police, they tripping. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, you not set an example for your kids.
I'm not setting an example. You got any recommendations? Because even though I know you said I'm tripping, which I agree, is it fair to say, gentlemen, everybody in this room, we all know when we tripping, right? We know when we tripping. Ain't nobody got to tell us. We know. So I know you're right, Mr. I am tripping. And I really do want to be a good father. Any words of wisdom?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even got that.
That's all right, but you did good so far. That's good. You said, Mr. Warren, you're not being responsible. I think I heard a little bit, Mr. Warren, your kids need you. You didn't say it in those that voice, but you said you're a father, your kids need you. So you can end it with, Mr. Warren, you got to get it together. It's very simple. You got to get it together. You need to be responsible. You got seeds out here that's looking at you. You got to be marketable so you can provide for your family. And my favorite line, like you said, I said they tripping. You said, no, Mr. Warren, you tripping. Y'all clap for Mr. Tyler. For me. That's good. Yes, sir. What question? Yes, sir.
After you try to help people, how did you put it out there you want to help? How did you ignore them?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Tell me that again. Mr. Elliott. Mr. Elliott said, Mr. Warren, sometimes you try to help people and they don't want to listen. All right, so what do? Do you ignore the bad behavior? That's a great question. Here, and I don't have a magic answer for that. I don't have a magic answer. Here's the reality, gentlemen. All you can do is try. All you can do. And here's the thing. Correction without love is abuse. Did everybody hear that? Correction without love is abuse. So what do you mean by that, Mr. Warren? That means is if you say, hey, man, hey, Mr. Cook, you messing up, man. You need to get it together. You look all nasty. Okay, that ain't even love, is it? No, that's abuse. That's abuse. And I'm not saying we as men don't have to be stern. We can be stern. But if I say just as stern, Mr. Cook, man, didn't you just talk to your mom? Didn't you say you was going to do the right thing? You just told me that the other day. You got to get it together, man. That's love. Did y'all hear that? That's not abuse. That's love. But that's a man telling a male for the moment how to be a man, right? That's love. So that's how we do it. And if Mr. Cook say, Mr. Warren, I ain't trying to hear it right now. I'll come back the next day. Or I give it some time. And I'll wait till we're in a healthy space to do that. That's how you do it. That's how you, did I answer the question a little bit?
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say something like that. Like when you do that, they think you trying to be funny. Like person you trying to be funny.
Oh yeah,
but you being serious. Absolutely.
Would y'all believe me if I get that all the time at 34 years old?
Yeah. At
34 years old, and I'm talking about my grown friends, families, and siblings. Mr. Warren, you talked about get teased sometimes, and I say, hey, what you doing? What are you waiting? You said said you was going to the job. Hey, guess what they say, Mr. Tyler? That's what they say. Nephew, you tripping. And guess what I say? No, Uncle, you tripping. That's what I say. So we all gonna be tripping together. All right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can do it in love. And guess what? Sometimes we hang up the phone and I talk to him a week later. Hey, how did that go? Oh, you know, I'm a worker. Oh, I do that. You need a ride? All right, cuz. Yeah, you need to, okay. Yeah, you've been unemployed for this long. You're trying to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, I'll take you up there. Yeah. Keep trying. Mm-hmm.
They don't make you like you keep trying to help them, they keep giving you the same thing over and over, like same negative feedback. They don't make you like want to give up.
Absolutely. Now we as men, we ain't holding no hands now, right? We ain't holding no hands. Look, let me put out the service announcement. Mr. Warren is not saying hold some grown man hand. No, we're not doing that. We're not in the business of holding hands, but we are in the business. Say it again, I'm sorry.
Say unless it's a female.
That's a whole nother, I don't teach that class. But we're in the business of holding men accountable in a respectful, loving way. We can do that. We can do that. Yes, sir.
So that's what you're saying. You can teach, but it's our choice to learn from it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. And the best teacher, in my opinion, in my respectful opinion, the best teacher is the example. Is the example. Y'all just met me 5 minutes ago. Can you tell that I'm a man?
Yeah.
Can you tell that I pride myself on being a man of integrity? You can tell that, right? My example. Y'all just met me, right? How is your example setting? What do your peers around you, how do they look at you? How do your family members see you? I'm talking sitting right here. Guys, y'all wouldn't believe. Most of the time, this is rare I get to come to a facility like this at your age group. Normally, I'm with the grown folks, right? And normally, you won't believe. Sometimes I go into them places and I see a sharp squirt. I forget that I'm in prison. I forget about it. I've met some strong, intelligent, articulate men of integrity that are away. I've met them. And they've counseled me. Now, I done came in as the motivational speaker, and they came to me, hey, Mr. Warren, how are you today? Oh, did you think about this, X, Y, Z? And they didn't counsel me. So the point I bring that up, it don't matter about your circumstances. It don't matter what's my title, what's your title. It don't matter your uniform, my uniform. All that matters is those 5 steps we talked about. That's it. That's all that matters. Y'all hear me on that, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Did everybody ask a question yet? Who did you ask one? Okay. You asked one.
Like growing up, like they like your family will try to push you to be the best leader you can, but you want to be the leader
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. You know, I wish I embarrassed myself. If my mother was with me, she'd tell some stories. Yeah. Next time maybe I bring mom so she can tell you, yeah, Mr. Warren was a knucklehead kid. I used to have to do X, Y, and Z. I used to have to push up. I used to tell them, boy, pull your pants up. Boy, stop talking all the time. All the time. Then I came home, the first time I came home from the service, Ms. Campbell, she said, boy, what did they do to you? What did the military do to you? I said, no, what you talking about? She said, it looks like you marching everywhere you go. What they do to you? She said, whatever it is, I like it. I like it. They made a man out of you. I'm happy they did. So guess what? I'm proud to say, I'm going to brag a little bit before I get out of here. I'm proud to take mine out to breakfast. Ooh, that makes me. That's like $1 million. Mr. Cook, every time I take mine out to breakfast, I'm proud to do that. Because I didn't know I could, I didn't know that day was going to come. I'm proud. I talked to her this morning when I boarded the plane. Hey, Mom, I want to talk to the men. They said there's some men in North Carolina. I want to see the men. He said, will you give them my love? That's what Mom said. Give them my love. Very proud of that. Time for us, we got to make our mama proud, right? We got to make moms proud. Whoever is in your life, we got to make them proud every single day. Y'all clap for me one more time. Thank you all. Ms. Campbell, I think I've taken enough of these men's time. Any more questions? I got another. There's some more men that I got to go talk to. I got 2 speaking things today.
114.
Y'all learn something? How y'all feel? All right. Somebody, because I ain't gonna give y'all too tough of a quiz. Okay,
Yeah, I got a question.
you gotta go ahead, real quick.
Like, I always talk to like what you tell my man think and then feel what a female feel and they like.
That's true. Well, you know that, I think I have some truth to it. I think I have some truth to it, yeah.
Like you said, man thinks before he acts.
Okay, okay.
Be word of a man
Hmm.
and feels anything.
Okay, let's start with the, you know, we definitely don't promote any foul language.
Yeah.
So we'll X that part out the equation. But in regards to, it's very important that a man think before he makes any decisions. Very important. So we'll take that part. We'll take that part. Who had a question?
Me.
Okay.
About the book. When you write your own book, like you gonna start from when you was a kid all the way up to now?
Maybe I haven't thought about that part yet. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm gonna see how do I want to, you know, how do I want to write it? You know, because I don't want it just to be the 5 steps. I want to tell some good stories, and maybe I'll share some childhood stories. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here. I want to shake everybody's hand before y'all leave, okay? Truly enjoyed y'all. One person, give me, well, not one person. Somebody tell me what's number 1.
True.
Somebody tell me what's number 2.
It's gonna,
Discover your calling. Somebody else on this side. What's number 3?
the light,
Lifelong learning.
Lifelong learner. Number 4, say it for me.
the light.
And my favorite one, number 5.
Be a man.
Help a male be a man. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate you all. Staff members, I think I done talked their ear off enough. Pleasure. Y'all enjoyed that, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
If, quick question, staff members, and please let me know if I'm out of line on this. Are they able to write letters to you? Mm-hmm. Let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate?
I would think so.
Okay, because I always ask it at the other facilities I go to, and I leave my PO box address if they have a need to write a letter. Is that okay? Can I leave that with staff members? Yeah. Okay, all right. Gentlemen, feel free. If you need some words of encouragement, feel free to write me. And I don't spin people, I write back. If you write me, I write you back. Is that okay?
Yes,
All right, I'm gonna need that help with that book. So make sure you write me, okay? I'm gonna leave my PO box information with the staff. Good luck to you guys, all right? All right, gentlemen.